Hi, I'm Timothy Zahn, author of Cron, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Podcast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Podcast,
the beta program had a leak.
And because of it, CG has withdrawn from the community yet again.
We will talk about the information found in the leak,
as well as discuss the consequences everyone is feeling because of it.
Conquest has begun again.
You know what? I'm giving it a chance for a very, very good reason.
Even after your white hot take of it in the past few weeks?
I really hope we will have time to discuss this. But, yeah, I mean, I still don't agree with the reward.
One thing we will have time for, though, is completing the quadfecta of the free-to-play nation.
That's right. Intimmydation will join us. He's also staying up late to join us, by the way, Nev.
Isn't he from the US? Is his bedtime 6 p.m. or something?
No, he currently resides in France, but our previous 3 F2P Nation interviews made him excited to join us.
Well, at least someone is excited to talk to us this week.
A new episode of Dickie and the Noob does premiere.
And Patron's Choice on the bridge.
Happy Revenge of the 6th.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul. Anthony, Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing my fleet battle real quick.
You're doing your fleet battle.
I'm doing my fleet battle. Of course, you know, it ends up being, while I'm trying to get this out of the way, somebody new has come along just recently, and all of a sudden now, you know, I'm falling to 10th during my payout hour. It's crazy.
Falling to 10th. You could have started that when you could have done that battle when the countdown started.
I did. And now I'm doing my second one. Because I'm falling to 10th.
You fell to 10th.
Yes.
So
somebody sniped me during the payout hour back down to 10.
Still, you only need 3 battles. If you start at 10th, you only need 3 battles.
I'm trying. Okay, there. I finally got it. Finally got it on auto. I took out the other executor. All right, I'm doing okay, Nev. It's been a fun week. I've been busy with work, but you know, when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. That's what they say, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's check in with the AI. Let's see if it's actually working this week. Bob, are you there, and how are things going?
I'm here. We're working well, and things are going great.
All right.
How about you guys?
We're doing well. Did I understand that your we have you spy on Bones for us, and I understand that he broke his free-to-play pledge after 6 years.
After 6 years, he saw everyone doing the 5,000 crystal pack. He wanted to be like everybody else. You know how old Bonesy is. And so, yeah, he bought the $20 crystal pack, went down on 5,000, spent it, and got a 3 Baka.
So well, that's good.
it's a good drop, but not for him because he already had him. So
oh jeez. Yeah, well,
So-
I pulled Queel.
that's
Queel,
not much better. So
and unfortunately, it was actually a list of characters that just came out in the past, what, 2 years, was it? 2.5? And so there was no cup. I couldn't do cup for a cup this time around. That's one of my favorite games to play with the listeners. Buy the pack. If you get cup, I'll buy you a cup.
yeah, I agree. I wanted to be with everyone, or he wanted to be with everyone, and 6 years down the drain, never spent $1, and I guarantee it'll be another 6 years before he spends another one.
Bodie says that Bob needs to do a Max Headroom impression. Nev will know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean too, Bodie, but I don't think that Bob's programming knows what Max Headroom is.
It does not compute.
Okay. All right. Neil, what'd you get in your pack? You always pull these things.
No, I didn't bother doing it this year. There's no need. I'm not blowing 5K in crystals when there's only 6 characters that I haven't got. Obviously, I haven't got any of the Inquisitors. I've got all the Bad Batch, so I don't need them. It's literally Iden and the Inquisitors. And I'm not blowing 5K on the off chance that I might pull one of them at 330, especially since Iden's probably only 20 shards away from 6 stars anyway. So yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well,
that's not going to happen.
We do have to give props to one of our moderators, Cascade. She pulled Fifth Brother. She pulled 330 shards of Fifth Brother. I am glad she's in my guild. I'm going to put that out right there right now. So, I mean, it was great to see that happen to her. So, congratulations, Cascade. Sorry to everybody else that pulled Queel with me.
Because I already pulled a 330. If Mara, I might have done it. If I didn't have, Mara at 7 stars. But since I already pulled her, I already got the 330 there. That's just not, it's not going to happen. I've got more important things to do with my crystals.
You would have retroactively simped.
Yeah. I've got way too much to do. I'm trying to go for both Sea and Star Killer at the same time. So yeah, I really, really need my crystals for multiple refreshes. Because I'm doing full refreshes on mods, full refreshes on ship, full refreshes on Cantina, and full refreshes on just regular farming, and it eats up a hell of a lot of crystals every single day. So I couldn't justify it. I really, really couldn't. Not this year.
Oh man. Well, it was a sad day to see one where you did not pull that. I do wonder what you would have gotten. You have had the luck of the Irish, if you will, when it comes to these things.
Not on the 5K pulls. Not on the 5K pulls. I pulled a Geo one year. What is it? I pulled a Geo last year. The year before that. In fact, I think I pulled Geos 2 years on the trot, actually. And then 3 years ago, I'm trying to remember I can't remember off the top of my head what I pulled 3 years ago. Oh, that was it. It was one of the Night Sisters.
Okay.
It was Mother Talzin, which was useful because I didn't have Mother Talzin.
You didn't have Mother Talzin.
So the first year that they did so 3 years ago they did the 5Ks for the first time. I pulled the Mother Talzin. The year after that, I pulled a Geo, and then last year I pulled a Geo as well. So I'm just no. I've done it 3 times, and only on one occasion did I actually pull a character that I actually needed, and on that occasion it was Mother Talzin. So not this year.
I wanted to take the chance. I wanted to see, would I pull Fifth Brother? Would I pull Second Sister? The ones that I'm still going after. I've only got 3 more to farm up to 7-star, and then I'll be working on gear. So I think I can make it. We were told near the end of June, we're going to get Grand Inquisitor just in time as Fifth Brother becomes farmable.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Fifth Brother is in the Kenobi series.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. They released.
I know everybody talks about the trailers, but I've not been paying attention to the Kenobi trailers.
Yeah. Benny of Randomness says, hi from Singapore, stumbled into the escape pod for the first time. Welcome. Definitely welcome to the show. Excellent to have you here.
Probably going to be one of our better dressed viewers. That some are you Savile Row? Yeah, if you're in England, that's where you go to get yourself a suit made. But some of the best tailors in the world work in Singapore. I have, when I was in the army, I had friends that would do tours to Singapore, and they'd always come back with a half a dozen suits, because you could get like the highest quality suits made to fit at like really, really rock bottom prices. So he's probably very, very well dressed.
I don't remember installing a humor module on Bob, but he is laughing his butt off over here. Bob, what is going on?
I don't know. I didn't know Nev was so, viced
Cultured.
on tailor-made suits. I just thought it was pretty funny.
Now, Hong Kong and Singapore, two of the best places in the world to go for really, really well-made tailored suits. Excellent, exquisite.
All right.
I had a Scottish friend. He came back with he had a full tartan suit made. It looked incredible. Absolutely incredible. He wore it for a Christmas do, and we were like, "Oh my God, where did you buy that?" It's like, I didn't buy it. I had it made when I did a short tour in Singapore, and we were like, "Damn, it looked good."
Benny, please hook up Nev with a nice tailor-made suit if you can.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. So the big news this week was that on May 4th, Arnold didn't leak it.
Arnold reported
on the leak, but it was given to him before it was posted on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
So a coordinated post from Arnold and Swaga Bot Guild reported that in the beta program, somebody wanted to tell the world that Datacrons were coming. Datacrons, and this is from the horse's mouth. Welcome to the Datacron playtest. Today we're kicking off with a discussion about a brand new feature, and we'll be sending a special build to you later today. I wonder if it was on the 4th and they never got to play with these. Thank you for taking the time to try out our latest feature, and we look forward to your feedback from this test. Datacrons are a new powerful item that gets attached to squads and can be used in Grand Arena Championship and Territory Wars. So, hearing that, you'd think that it was just more Omicrons, right? If you just heard that part of it.
Well, no, because they were specifically called Datacrons. So, my initial thought was this is an extra layer of buffs specifically for those two PvP functions. Obviously, GAC and Territory Wars. Because obviously, yes, Squad Arena and Fleet Arena, yes, they are still technically PvP, but nobody really cares about Squad Arena, so they're not going to be they're not going to waste their time with a new layer of buffs for toons in Squad Arena, because people wouldn't spend money for new buffs for characters in Squad Arena. So it makes sense that it's the two areas of PvP where the most interactions amongst the gaming community occur: Territory Wars and GAC.
Yeah. So we're reporting on what the post said. I mean, you may have already heard all this, but if you haven't, we're getting you up to speed so you know what's what all transpired. And then we'll get into what the repercussions of these things are. Now, what is a Datacron? It's a powerful boosts and skills attached to an entire squad, and a new set each month that lasts for 3 months. So, Nev, they expire.
Yeah. Which just makes me, my initial impression of the Datacrons after reading that was, this is something for the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
This is something purely for whales and krakens, because dolphins and minnows and, the smaller aquatic life are not going to spend money on something that isn't going to be permanent when they can spend their money on something that is permanent. So rather than spending their money on something that's only going to last 3 months, they would probably spend their money, bumping actual relic levels on a character that are permanent. So if you've got money and you've got 5 characters at relic 3 and you're thinking to yourself, do I spend it on this and watch it expire in 3 months? Or do I spend the same resources on that squad, take them to relic 5, and then they're great for me in Territory Wars, and they're great for me in GAC, and they're great for me on Rancor, C Rancor.
Well, can't they? You would acquire these with randomly rolled stats. Mods, Beta 2.0. And they can be upgraded with new materials.
It just screams that.
And when they expire, you get some amount of materials to invest in the later sets. For example, on January 1st, Set 1 releases can be acquired. February 1st, Set 2 releases and can be acquired. Set 1 can no longer be acquired, and players can continue to upgrade and re-roll Datacrons. Then month 3 comes along, and then they go away, and you get some of it back. The intent and goals. This is from the leak.
Yeah,
reportedly
like
from CG.
Yeah, it looks like it was a PowerPoint presentation that would have been, sent to the people that were part of the test group.
Yeah. It lays the groundwork for seasonal content, creates new skills, buffs, and stats for characters, factions, and teams that help to shift the meta temporarily. Lift squads that are considered outside the meta and make them relevant for GAC and Territory Wars. Create powerful skills and team synergies that would not be possible if we did not make them temporary. And create new puzzles for players to solve with each set release to help keep the meta fresh and exciting. I kind of feel excited about it. But again, is it only going to be tip of the spear that actually benefit from these things, as you said, or would they be more widely available? Because if you only make things for tip of the spear, you're going to lose the incoming player base after the people who don't like it that are on the tip of the spear say, to hell with this, and chuck the game.
Yeah, well, to me, it just seems like an awful lot of resources to be putting into characters and squads. A, it's temporary. B, there's a lot of RNG involved, but it's extra expense and it's extra resources in 2 modes where, the rewards for those modes. There's no talk of, we don't know if they would increase the rewards. I've been saying for, since they rebooted GAC that they should be putting Relic 8 and Relic 9 materials as rewards in Kyber somewhere, whether it's Division 1, 2, 3, that something extra needs to be put there.
Because the Relic 9 material, Nev, is in Guild Grand Arena, also known as Territory War.
Territory Wars, yeah. But they've already made that increase there, and obviously we have the crystals in GAC based on what it is, and now it's like, here's an extra layer of buff that's RNG and it's temporary. To me, if something like that were rolled out, it's not something that I would pay any attention to whatsoever, unless. And I do mean, obviously there is an unless here, unless there is something that, like a Zamicron, most people put nom-noms on characters where the full squad itself might not be that good. My Zam is only gear 11, but I put the Zamicron on her because I have relic bounty hunters on the squad. So
and that boosts them, yeah.
The problem with Datacrons is it's 9 levels, and you can only do stuff at each of the 9 levels if the characters are already at that relic level. So that's why it's not something that is going to particularly interest me, not just because I'm free to play, but because not every single one of my squads has all of them at relic 1 or all of them at relic 2 or all of them at relic 3.
Right.
So I would have to spend a huge amount of resources to make an entire squad at a specific relic level in order for the Datacrons to be effective, because they're not going to work on anything lower than relic 1.
Wolfell says, if you asked 1,000 random players 5 things that this game needs, would you get even 5 to 10 saying what we even have a hint of what a Datacron would be?
No. I don't think no. I think 0. I think 0 out of what this is not something that
would have even been on the radar. Yeah. I don't think it would ever be
not
on the radar.
It's not. But what's on most people's radars is what we were promised was going to occur in the game
Ship raid.
last year.
Ship raid,
not
vehicles.
The gear. I'm talking about the gear 12 and the gear 13 crunch. Those purple. The stuff that they promised us was going to be easier to come by. They said that, I think it was either in October or November of last year. I remember Cron being very specific about this, and they said that they were going to roll it out. It would be easier to get this purple gear at various different periods, at various different times along the life cycle of the game, and we're still waiting for the second phase. They gave us the phase 1. But they never gave us a phase 2 or a phase 3. So we're still waiting for, the gear crunch for those gear pieces to stop. And yet here they are testing a very, very RNG dependent temporary system of buffing characters and squads in Territory Wars and GAC when they still haven't given us what was initially promised at the end of last year.
Yeah, JJ Productions says phase 1 hasn't ended yet. I thought they did say that they're into the second phase.
Yeah, they just haven't started it.
No, I think they are. I swear I remember Doja or Crumb saying that they're into the second phase with another. I can't remember exactly what it is, but
because I
it was the shuffling. It was the additional shards that they were adding. The additional spots in the shops.
Shards was one thing. Shards was one thing, and putting bits of gear in the shops was one thing. But if you remember when they did the gear in the squad arena currency, that's the lower end gear. That was to help the lower end people, which is great for the for the lower end. The intermediate to beginner accounts, but it didn't make any difference really to intermediate and above. I mean, my feeling was phase 2 was always going to be they were just going to double the amount of gear that you could get from like assault battles and stuff like that. That was where I thought that it was an easy one for them to do. Was instead of getting 5 stun cuffs. Tier 4 or 5 Carbantes, you would get 10, for every, but it just doesn't seem to have occurred yet.
Bob, Take a look. Try to find the original Gear Crunch easing post.
I think it was around October, November last year, Bob.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's where you could start.
Yeah,
your
check the forums. Check the forums, and we'll discuss it later on. Then this looks like it was none of it taken from any sort of what do you call it? None of it was taken from any sort of in-game. It was entirely in the PowerPoint. And it was a horrible shot of somebody's phone. It's a phone picture taken of a phone. It's the Darth Cohen of leaks.
I thought it was a phone picture of a monitor.
It could also be a monitor. That's very true.
That's what it looked like to me when I was looking at the screenshots. It looked like it was a photo taken with a camera pointing at a monitor, and that's why I assumed that what we were looking at was photos of a PowerPoint presentation that was on a PC.
Yeah.
Which does beg the question: why didn't you just control a print screen and then paste all of those print screens onto? It's just such a lazy way of doing it.
Yeah, this could have been leaked in a better way.
It definitely.
If
the quality of the leak is pathetic. I mean, it's a really, really low quality leak.
It feels like somebody who was a friend of a beta tester that also played the game was like, oh, I'm going to mess with their phone. Oh, what's this? I'm going to see if the Slack thing actually is, oh my God, Datacron. Snap, 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 snap. So I don't know. Let's take a break because we have to announce the winner of the Patreon leaderboard for this past season of 5v5 in the GA Center Patreon leaderboard. It was a very, very tight race. We'll get to that in just a moment right here on the Escape Podcast. HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Welcome into the Patreon leaderboard, brought to you by the Patreons of the Escape Podcast. Let's get into this final week that we just had of 5v5 and see how our Patreons who have joined us at the Kyber Combatant level or higher did this week. Let's start off with D goes 1-2, 3,394 banners, 28 wins, 9 losses, 5 holds. Dr. JoJo files this report 2-1 somehow. Round 1 was a massacre. He attacked once and stopped trying. Round 2 was an account that had no business in my skill ranking, but he took a few weeks off. He didn't take this week off, though. Round 3 was against another huge account, 10.3 million to his 8.3, with equal mods for the first time ever. He cheesed. I don't think that's your first time ever, JoJo, but okay, I digress. It worked. I placed only one GL and Star Killer and got holds with both. My Executor got a hold, and my Chimera couldn't be cleared, so I didn't need to beat any ships. By the way, I one-shot his Executor for good measure. Nice job, Dr. JoJo. 2-1, 5025, 41 up, 10 down, 9 holds. 4 strong goes 2-1. Second round, my opponent had 4 GLs to my 2 and 1.3 million more GP. Guys, you're as good with your roster as they are with theirs. So nothing I could really do there. Not much else I could say other than congrats, Sephiranus, who we'll get to in just a moment. Oh, by the way, 4 strong, 1,732 banners, 16 wins, 1 loss, 11 holds. Hot Sauce also goes 2-1, 53-47 with 42 wins, 7 losses, 10 holds. And then Sephiranus, reason 4 strong said congratulations is he went 3-0. Rounds 1 and 2 completely down to both of them putting down their Galactic Legends on defense and seeing who could clear ships. Round 3 is Qui-Gon Jinn and Executor put a stop to the efficient attack, ending the season at least Kyber 4. Congratulations, Sephiranus. But what about our season on GA Center? Hot Sauce goes 7-5. Dr. JoJo goes 7-5. Sephiranus goes 7-5. And 4 strong goes 7-5. With D coming in at 4-8. But it's D, man. He plays, but not too seriously. He just enjoys the ride. Hot Sauce, though, with a season banner total of just over 1,300 more than Dr. JoJo, takes the crown. Sephiranus was about 5,400 behind Dr. JoJo, and then 4 strong was 5,000 behind him. But guys, this was anybody's race. One slip up or one better victory could have spelled the crown that goes to Hot Sauce this month. We would love to cover you next month. So join us at patreon.com/theescapepod at the Kyber combatant level or higher next month. We'd love to see you. Be nice to each other, damn it. We'll be right back.
We want you. Join the GAC Chain Gang today. This is the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion and the leader of the GAC Chain Gang. I am sending out a call to action for any SWGOH content creators on Twitch who would be willing to broadcast their GAC attack rounds. We are an amazing group of content creators who are dedicated on streaming the Grand Arena Championship attack rounds on Twitch. The idea is to provide continuous content back-to-back from one streamer to the next and allow the viewers to enjoy more SWGOH content, as well as enjoy the variety of streamers that are currently present in the group. If you are interested in joining the Chain Gang, please reach out to myself on Discord at AndyBeads, #7465, or you can send us a message on our Twitter page at ChainGAC. Join us today. We have your back.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Escape Podcast. Once again, I'm Paul Anthony, joined by the Nev. Nev, how was your weekend, though? Or how was your week? We talked about mine.
Well, I mean, just, there was thankfully, we've had a nice break. We're on the week break between months of GAC. So I've just been dealing with, I'm glad I haven't had any game stuff to deal with because I've been fart-arsing around with my greenhouse because I'm just trying to get the hydroponic system and the greenhouse. And I've got a bunch of stuff, like real life stuff I'm trying to get squared away in preparation for the summer because, I like to grow my own food during the summer. So, but apart from that, nothing much really.
No.
Nothing much at all.
Well, one thing that did die, not your plants, but because of this leak, it was announced that very night, that Wednesday, by Ranger, that the beta program is done.
Yeah, I was in the same stream where we briefly discussed. It was me, Ranger, and me, Ranger, Thane, and there was somebody else. My apologies for not being able to remember who the fourth participant in that conversation was, but we touched on the leak itself, not the content of the leak, but the leak, and how Ranger confirmed that the beta test program has ended. So it's game changers all over again. So back into the wilderness. We're back into the wilderness again for however long, we do not know. Hopefully, Cron and whoever they employ to be the new permanent community manager will be able to have words with the CG Ivory Tower and say, look, we can't just end it. Let us, get in touch with a handful of people within the community that we 100% know that we can trust. Because one of the things here's the thing. It's about trust. Obviously, you're signing. Yes, there are the legalities of an NDA, but at the end of the day, it's about trust. And a lot of people have simply been assuming that whoever took these screenshots was obviously they were part. They've then passed that information on to somebody else. For all we know, it could just be someone extremely naive that was trying to be kind of cool with a friend. And it's like, oh, wow, look at this new thing that's coming to the game. And they're like, they describe it. And this person was like, oh, send me a couple screenshots. I don't really know what you're talking about. So whoever was part of the beta test took some information, passed it on to a friend to try and, make themselves look, oh, look, look at me, I'm in the know. And then that person decided to take a great big knife and stab them in the back. It could be that. It also could be, oh, I don't like this. I'm not very appreciative of this new thing that they've got as testing. I'll pass this information on to you, and you can put it out there. We don't know because nobody's put their name to it. This is not similar to a whistleblow situation. If you're blowing the whistle on something, you put your name to it. You have the kahunas to put your name to it, but it's not a whistleblow. It's not really a whistleblow situation, despite what I said on Wednesday. This is somebody who is trusting somebody else potentially, and having that trust, thrown back in their face. And I'm hoping that's the situation. I'm hoping that what occurs is whoever did this goes to CG and says, it was me. I didn't mean for this stuff to go out. I was trying to be, I was just sharing something with a friend, and my friend stabbed me in the back. Now, for all we know, that might already have occurred. But because we don't hear anything back, because there's the lines of communication are now gone, we don't know if that's what actually transpired. But I'd like to think it was someone that simply misplaced their trust in another member of the community that was a friend of theirs, who then stabbed them in the back and threw all of this stuff on Reddit. Clearly somebody that knows Arnold. It's clearly because, like, this information made it to Arnold before it was posted on Reddit.
If somebody said to you, put yourself in Arnold's shoes right now. You and I both know, and it's not really any public secret, that CG and Arnold don't get along. They'll talk to each other every once in a while, but they're not extending any special favors. Even though he is, and we recognize that he is the most watched Star Wars Galaxy of Hero content creator. somebody who got their hands on it met somebody on Arnold's team in a dark alley and passed this along to them.
Yeah, like I said, potentially stabbing the beta tester person in the back.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I have, I mean, I've spoken to people, and we all know someone that claims to know someone who is a beta tester, right? We all, there are people out there that claim to know someone who is a beta tester, that might, tell them something, just some tiny little nugget, but they themselves have to keep that quiet because they know, if they really are a friend, they need to keep that quiet because the last thing what they want to do is drop their mate in crap by, spread it, so let's go back 12 months when some random character comes out and a beta tester tells a friend, oh, this character's coming to the game. Oh, crap, I didn't mean to say that. Please don't say anybody. And then that person's like, hey, I know something I shouldn't know. And that person either trusts, and
another
hey, don't
person.
worry, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to drop you in the crap.
But here's what I wanted to get at, though, is there's no love loss if Arnold blows a whistle himself. He's not in the beta program. He's not in the best of graces of CG. Maybe he's in the best of graces CG, but certainly not EA. Okay, that's a given.
And this is the thing that kind of I haven't had a conversation with him yet, but I plan on having a conversation. I plan on having a conversation with him about it because if I were in Arnold's shoes and someone came to me with this, I'd have been saying to them, "Keep your mouth shut. If you like me, if you are a friend of mine, if you like my content, I can use this to get myself back into the good graces of CG." And then you would go to, I would there, if I was Arnold, I'd have gone to Cron and said, look, somebody's given me this. I don't want to make it public because I don't want to get somebody on the beta program in trouble. And I don't want the beta program shutting down. But what you need to do is you need to go to your beta testers and say, look, somebody came to us with some leaked information.
Yeah.
It hasn't been made public. So maybe what you need to do is you need to extend a few stern words to your beta testers that hey, something that you guys saw has made it out. It made it to a content creator. They came to us. They didn't make it public, but they did tell us that they got this information. So everybody needs to keep their mouth shut now. If I'd have been Arnold, I would have used it as an opportunity to put me back in CG and EA's good graces.
Bingo, and that's what he should have done. And that's what I was going to get to. You
I beat you to it.
You beat me to it. You beat me
I
to
beat you to it.
And you know what? Crum did get word of this while he's on paternity leave, and he was the one who made the post saying, hey, some beta material got out there. Remember, it's not final until it's final. They pulled Crum off of paternity to have to say that.
Yeah, no, and I think had I been, I mean, if this is something that you think is an egregious update to the game that's just going to screw a bunch of people over, then the best thing to have done would have been to wait until it was released and then go to CG and say, hey, I want off the beta program. I want off it, cancel my NDA. I'm leaving the beta program. And then after it's released, you go public and you say, look, I was a beta tester. I'm no longer a beta tester. I'm no longer under NDA. You know about this stuff that's been released. I complained about it vociferously. I made constructive criticism. They ignored me. They put it into the game. So I've left. As a beta tester in protest for them doing this.
Press Start Scott says Arnold doesn't need CG, though. That's absolutely true. He doesn't need CG.
No.
But think back to the days when the Game Changers were around. Think to all the fun stuff, the Sith Raid, the stuff that the video of Cubs and Arnold and Mobile, all them, and all of them playing the Sith Raid for the first time. That was the golden days of this of content creation in this game. It was when it was fun. Now we have to deal with, you know, somebody salty over here, somebody salty over there. You know, we have to deal with fights between content creators. We have to deal with content creators that have chips on their shoulders from other people. It sucks sometimes. It really does. Do you have anything else to say on the beta program, Neil?
Just that I hope that, you know, I hope that Cron and, like I said, whoever they employ to be the new community manager sits down and has a meeting and says, look, obviously, we know that there was 32 people in that group because one of the screenshots showed 32 members in a group. Maybe they need to keep the test program much, much smaller, and they need to keep it amongst people that the CG employees, such as Cron and whoever they bring in to replace Doja, know on a personal level, because clearly there are trust issues. And I think that they'll have more success with keeping, you know, people keeping mum on new stuff that comes out that needs to be tested by members of the community, if there is some kind of, personal relationship between Cron and a couple of people in there that, I mean, like me, I haven't signed an NDA. When we were doing the, you know, there was information that was made privy to me that I was told, because obviously you have signed an NDA.
Right.
I haven't signed an NDA.
Right.
And I just said, if you want me to sign an NDA, I will, but I haven't. Just because I haven't doesn't mean I'm going to use any of the stuff that you've given me. I mean,
right.
You know, we were given like, you know, there was graphics and stuff that we were given, and we were told, you can't use this. And we were like, you've told us we can't use it. We won't use it for anything other than speed GAC. So we didn't, you know, I wasn't under an NDA, but they said, do not use this for anything else. And we didn't, you know, and I wasn't even under an NDA. And
just think of all the stuff you could have used it for GA Center.
Oh God, there was all of that. I mean, the stuff that they get. I looked at that and I'm like, I wish we could use this, but we just couldn't. We weren't, you know, because we were told we couldn't use it.
Dr. Jojo says CG is still doing a lot of working with content creators, Malgus with Cubs, Mace with Gridzy, and the Legacy tunes. They have, but that was pre this happening. I highly doubt, and I could be wrong, that we're going to see anything to the level of Malgus being released with Cubs for quite a while. This is the Dark Ages Part 2 of Galaxy of Heroes. Now, speaking of Malgus, Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
You know that I'm not a fan of Malgus being a Conquest character and Malgus's power that's implied by the posts that CG put out. But thermal exhaust, caustic emissions, unstable decelerators, all of that stuff is back this time around. The fun discs are around. And the Conquest bosses aren't the same old crap that we've been getting for a year. They're telling a story with Conquest. And that is why I'm actually excited to play this time around. Because I actually have something to work towards other than dealing with, okay, now I got to fight another Jedi Master Kenobi team. I have to fight a Rey team in this one. I have to fight I have to kill Han first. Back when you had to kill Han to get past Sector 3, that was fun. Or not kill Han is what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, so in my I'd like to apologize that I thought this conquest was going to suck donkey balls and getting our nuts slammed in a car door. But you know what? Thank you for actually making it fun, whoever designed this run of the conquest. Darth Malgus, we're going to have to fight against him once we get to Sector 5. I'm sure some content creators have already, spent all the cash to get to Sector 5 and fight against him.
I'm pretty sure Arnold did. Arnold started a stream and he went, I'm not finishing this stream until I'm fighting Malgus, which I thought was quite a funny title to a live stream, because I'm like, dude, you could be doing this for hours, I could just
Right.
imagine, a disheveled Grand Admiral just hunched over his desk.
Hour 40, Malgus.
Up to the 800 crystal refresh. just trying not that I care, because Conquest is still dead to me. I don't care. Conquest has been and will continue to be dead to me. I just don't care. I'm more excited for the monthly event that they're going to be bringing out that allows us to get shards for the I'm more interested in that than any changes. And here's the thing, they could make changes to Conquest now, and I probably don't care about them, because it's like, I don't care. I'll do is save crystals and refresh that event as many times as I can in order to get the shards for those characters.
Go play at least through Sector 2, Neil. That's all. That's all I'm going to ask of you. If you could, in your spare time,
I always get to either 2 or 3. I always get to either 2 or 3 naturally. Just putting in. I use my top 4 teams on rotation. I put them in. I hit auto. I get my. I move on to the next node. I don't care if I get 3 stars or not. And then next one. That's it. I use CLS, gas. Revan and my JML. That's it. I use those 4 squads, clear the energy, throw them in, put them on auto. So as a result of doing that, I usually get to at least 3. Sometimes I even get to 4. Depends how many times I lose. But you don't get your energy back. You got to wait for the energy to refresh, haven't you?
I do want to make sure that I acknowledge these before we go to break and I finish up this segment here. Dr. Jojo resubscribed for his 18th month. Dr. Feelgood has cheered 300 bits. Swampgrass rated us, and Press Start Scott, as we mentioned, gave us a follow. Thank you very much, as well as Benny of Randomness, and being a fan of Benny from the Lego Movie, I love that name. Anyway, I do want to read a chat message from JLA87. Arnold did the right thing to bring it how he did. He keeps it real. No one likes a brown nose. JLA, you also have to consider when somebody's being nice to you, it's easy to be nice to them. If somebody is feeding you, you're not going to bite the hand that does it. But if somebody takes a rod and hits you with it, you're going to try to bite that hand. Somebody else said trust Benny. Benny of Darkness, or Benny of Randomness said trust once broken is very difficult to mend. And that's very, very true. It all really comes down to, can we make it? Can we just repair the fences? Can we bring back game changers with people that can be trustworthy? And when they're not, it's proven easily and remedied. I would love to go back, as I said, to the golden days of Galaxy of Heroes. I really want to go back to that. But I don't know how we can. And I'd love to hear actual ideas of how we can. And if you have one, tell us. Communicate with us. We'd love to hear from you. Stop by the Discord channel. Tell us. Now, Bob, What'd you find out about Phase 1 and Phase 2 of State of the Galaxy?
Alrighty, so as of October 2021, in the road ahead, they changed daily quest, or they had daily quest changes. Right. Weekly gear changes.
Yep.
Or no, I mean weekly gear challenges.
We are seeing more assault battles and contraband all those. We're seeing those more often. That is true.
And then the Galactic Challenge rewards. So I'm guessing, do we already have Galactic Challenge?
They increased those, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then they said, what's next for Phase 1? And then what they said is, we still have changes to hard no gear drop rates. Have we got
They
those?
have not done that yet. Okay, so they haven't done that yet.
Territory battle reward flattening. They haven't done that yet,
They haven't done that yet.
And adding in a new dedicated slot in the shard shop that only provides core gear.
They have done that, I believe, because I keep getting some of the, I always am seeing in the shard shop at least a gun, a Carbonti, or a cup.
Me too.
So,
and then lastly, it says, once those are complete, we will begin speaking to what Phase 2 encompasses in the near future. So I guess once we get those other two things, that's when they'll go into Phase 2.
The next phase. Phase 2. Yeah.
But that should have been done.
Exactly. And that was October. And we're in May. And they haven't completed Phase 1, so they can't start Phase 2. So, it's a long time to wait.
Yeah. All right. We've got a little bit of a long story time with Uncle Thad talking about Malgus, and we don't want to cut Intimmydation short. He's the fourth horseman of the F2 apocalypse, as I like to call them. We'll be talking to them right after this break, right here on the Escape Pod cast. HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shittyville's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, Podawans, and welcome back to another story time with Uncle Thad. And today, I'm taking you way back. Way back. Today, our story time is going to jump back a few thousand millennia to a time when the Sith were the dominant power in the galaxy, and the Galactic Republic wasn't really the only player in the game. That's right, my friends. Today, we're going to talk about Darth Malgus and where, in Legends, his story comes from. Darth Malgus was a human male born on the planet Dromund Kaas, 3,700 years before the Battle of Yavin. Raised by his adoptive father, the young Malgus, or as he was known then, Viridian, spent his days tending the various species of animals in his family's private zoo. Sometime during his childhood, one of his family's Twi'lek servants committed a minor offense and was summarily executed by Viridian. Now, it's unclear as to what this offense was, but it is my belief that the Twi'lek servant was caught cheating at Uno. And you never cheat at Uno without getting exactly what is coming to you. Now, Malgus's father, instead of being outraged at the loss of a servant, was proud that his son took matters into his own hands. Clearly, the father was also an avid Uno player. Arrangements were made, and the future Sith traveled to the Sith Academy to become a warrior for the dark side. Apprenticed to the pure-blood Sith master Darth Vindican, a young Malgus took part in a number of epic battles, but none so revelatory as that of the recapture of Korriban. As you well know, Korriban was the original homeworld of the Sith species, and plays a major special part in their Sith mythos. It's a planet steeped in dark side energy, but at the time of the Great Galactic War, was under the control of the Galactic Republic. In the year 3681 BBY, Sith Master Vindican, along with Malgus, a handful of other Sith apprentices, and over 30 Harrower-class dreadnoughts, attacked the system and overran the Jedi presence. During this battle, aboard a Republic space station, Vindican and Malgus engaged in an epic lightsaber duel with Jedi Master Kalkin Darach and his Jedi Padawan Satele Shan. It was here that Malgus and Shan began their will they won't they kill each other dance that seemed to persist for a number of years. The young Padawan narrowly escaped the battle, but her master was not so lucky. After delivering a nearly fatal blow to Master Vindican, Jedi Master Darach and a now masterless Malgus engaged in yet another epic lightsaber duel. Malgus deflected and dissected anything and everything that the Jedi threw at him. And I literally mean that. He was throwing like chairs and cars and severed starfighter wings and like a whole heap of other things. I'm pretty confident that we saw him throw a Volkswagen bus. I would argue that that happened. But Malgus, as he's just battling his way through all of these, he's just simply cutting aside and pushing aside everything until ultimately he cut his way through the Jedi Master. But before Malgus made his way down to Korriban, he approached his fallen master, condemned him for his efforts in the battle, and cut off his head. Like, the Sith don't play around, but this was just one of Malgus's first great victories. But before we get into any more of that, let's take a look at his kit and see how he measures up in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Darth Malgus is a dark side leader who acts as a resilient tank with Sith and Sith Empire synergies. This legendary Sith Lord causes doubt amongst his most stalwart foes and heralds the return of the Sith Empire. Malgus was a talented lightsaber duelist and was exceptional when it came to using his rage and brute strength. No more was this seen than when he was fighting against a Jedi. He loved fighting his opponents up close and personal. So this basic ability, Unfettered Rage, is perfect for Malgus's basic because it is, basic, but it is crazy awesome. His first special ability, which is like, let's face it, I feel like every Sith should strive to be good at using Sith Lightning. And if they don't, they shouldn't be a Sith. Sith Lightning is awesome. And Malgus was so good at it that this one time, he killed 3 Jedi with one blast of the sparkly danger spaghetti. I mean, I don't care who you are. That's impressive. Malgus' second special ability is one that we actually see him use a few times in the Star Wars The Old Republic cinematic scenes. Now, if you haven't watched those, go back after tonight's show and take a look, because they're epic. But he leaps into battle and deals a devastating blow to his opponent. But what makes this attack so powerful is that it instills in his opponent a sense of doubt. The new debuff, or this new debuff, is incredibly applicable to Malgus because it was one of the side effects of his fighting style, which often kept his opponents off balance and instilled a bit of doubt in their ability to win. Now, finally, with the leader ability and his unique, as I mentioned earlier, Malgus was a major player in the liberation of Korriban from the Galactic Republic. So all of those numbers and bonuses that we see in his Legacy of Power leadership ability and the Korriban legacy abilities just like represent those 30 plus dreadnoughts that he brought with him. It's kind of like if those buffs could metaphorically be his ships. Is that too much of a stretch? Does that make sense? It doesn't matter. Anyways, with that, I bid you adieu for this week. Tune in next week when we talk about more Tales from the Old Republic, or the Grand Inquisitor, or whatever Capital Games has to throw at us then. But as always, my friends, stay tuned next week for more story time with Uncle Thad on the Escape Podcast for Kids. Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
This week we have a guild classified that is near and dear to my heart, Yevon 4, the guild I grew up in. We are currently looking for some players to put us back at 50 members. If you are able to get your 600 per day, follow officer instructions for territory modes, and are looking for somewhere to call home, we'd like to talk to you. The ideal player would be a cam-ready player with a roster of at least 6 million. Our average player is over 7. This guild has become a family to me, and we'd love to have you join it. Head over to the Escape Podcast's Discord server and just message me, Paul Anthony, and let's see if you can come battle alongside us.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This week's incoming transmission is not a trifecta, it's a quadfecta. So, Paul, introduce our guest this week.
Yeah, I've even put him in a branded the Escape Pod today. And ladies and gentlemen, he's coming to us from France. So he really is, high up on my respect list, staying up this late to do this. He's originally from Kansas, but as I said, he's in France. And we're soon going to be neighbors as well, is what he's telling me. He loves his Lego, just like I do. And his collection amasses, get this, Neil, 560,000 pieces of Lego Star Wars. And he also
see that may rub you the right way. That does nothing for me. That does nothing for me. I'm not into Lego like you two nerds clearly are. You Lego nerds.
But he would get into an argument with the famous Kate Gaming because he loves Hamilton. He loves Broadway shows. And I'm gonna tell people what you said here. My middle name is Aaron. My son's middle name is Alexander. Coincidence? Please don't tell my wife. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth horseman of the F2P-ocalypse. Intimidation. Timmy, how are you, man?
Hey, Paul. Hi, Neil. Guys, I'm doing great here. A bit early for me, like you said, 3 a.m, but glad to be here.
Yeah, it's we really do appreciate this. We talked to Ollie, we talked to Old Bald Guy Gaming. We're excited that we've been able to get you guys on so much because you guys do have a very, very cool server over there. They run the Free to Play Nation, a group of. Well, why don't you explain what F2P Nation is?
Yeah, sure. So, it all kind of started, Free to Play Padawan, started his YouTube channel, created a Discord, just to get other free to play players around. I found out about it. I joined it. We started growing the server. You guys talked to Ollie, a couple months ago. He joined it. We decided to kind of rebrand it as Free to Play Nation because we are starting to grow quite big. I think we're up to almost 350 members now. And it's just a place where, free to play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, people come together, ask questions, we give advice. Yeah, we have a lot of fun there. Obviously, there's the guys that are doing their big YouTube channels there. We've actually had some free to play Nation battles during Grand Arena. We can touch on that. So, that's how Ollie joined the server. Him and Padawan faced off. I actually faced Padawan myself. I was already part of Free to Play Nation, but yeah, so that's what we do over there.
So let's find out about the account, Neil. So you get to ask the second question. What's your current GP, and where are you in Grand Arena ranking?
Okay, so I play 2 accounts. And like I told you guys, I only started playing this game in December 2020, so I'm only less than a year and a half in.
Yeah, we want to make sure that was told too.
Yeah. So my main account is spoiler alert. This one's not free to play. I invested a little bit of money, like OBG.
Okay, that was the question Neil was going to get.
But my main account, I'm at just under 4.4 million GP. I'm actually in Kyber 4 now, so that's a fun one. It's no whale account by any means, but there is a little bit of money spent there. And then my free-to-play account, which is what I kind of, started with Free-to-Play Nation. I do my blog on EA forums. That account, I just hit 2 million GP today.
Nice.
So I wanted to make sure I was at that 2 million GP mark because, Padawan and Ollie were both 2 million, I think, when they did their interviews. So hit 2 million today. And I am in Chromium 4 on that account. So, like most of us there, we're punching way above our GP levels, typically fighting 5.5, 6 million GP accounts, starting to get pretty tough. But that one is truly free to play.
Have you faced Andy Beads in Chromium yet?
Have I done what in Chromium?
Does the name Andy Beads sound familiar?
I haven't. No, I haven't come up against that one yet.
So Neil, what you got for Timmy here?
So what's your favorite mode of the game, and why is it GAC?
So, it's testing me that GAC is my favorite game mode these days. Really, over the last couple of rounds, it really tested me. But I enjoyed territory battles. Good. It's light side TB on my main account is quite fun. My account's built for that. So
Hoth or Geo? If you're saying light side, it's got to be Hoth.
No, no. On my main account, it's Geo. Actually, on both of my accounts, it's Geo. On my free to play account, okay, we still do Geo. I'm in a pretty big guild, but I don't really contribute much to that. I can only essentially deploy. I don't think I can even do any waves, but that's because my free to play account is dark side heavy. But I enjoy Grand Arena. I think it helps you, use your full roster, especially with these changes they made at the end of last year. It really pushes you to really grow the roster and try different things out. I think, in the old system, I felt that I was coming up against the same opponents every single week, right? It was always the same type of accounts. I mean, yeah, it was more challenging at times, but it was always the same type of accounts. Now with this new system, while we punch up above the GP levels every week, every match, at least I get to see teams that I've never gone up against before. So it's quite fun just trying to understand, okay, how do I counter this, or what can I even do to have a chance to win this match? So without the strategy behind it is fun.
Do you have a team that when you see it, you just, put your hands up and walk away since you're punching above?
Yeah, I mean, on the free to play one, there's a lot of those teams right now because I have like a gas. I have no counter for gas. I have even Grievous gives me problems at my GP. I haven't really built a counter for that. So I don't know. On the free to play one, it's really again, the 6 million accounts that you're playing, really you're playing them because those people don't really have too much idea what they're doing for Grand Arena. So you can kind of exploit their defenses if they don't go heavy on all the relics there. But yeah, those are the ones that it's really just right now. It's kind of just like, okay, let's see. Do they attack me? Do they not? Can I get some holds in fleet? And if I can, then maybe I can win. Usually the last week was it over. So that one stung a bit.
Do you ship hard?
I do ship hard. So that's, yes. I think, the philosophy of any free-to-play player. Even if you're paid to play, you got to ship hard. So
you got to ship hard, yeah.
I have on my 2 million GP, I already have 6-star Malevolence and Negotiator.
And nice.
Yeah, so I think, this is what's interesting about Free-to-Play Nation. If you look at the four of us, we all have a bit different philosophies on how we go about our guilds. So we're all in different levels of guilds, and you can see how that impacts us on the get 1 or get 2 ships. The rest of the rosters are all pretty similar, to be honest. But yeah, you have to ship hard to have a chance. But even with having those 2 fleets, when you're against a 6 million account where they have 7 capital ships, even if I set both on defense, they just 2 or 3 shot them, and that's it. No chance.
Well, yeah. When you're at Kyber, you can put both get 2 down and put a very, very formidable 3rd, and you still have a chance. That's what got me my 3-0. But sadly, the following week I went 0-3.
Yeah, the 3 I got into Kyber right when they introduced these 3 fleets. So that and I have 4 pretty good fleets there, but 3 is kind of a kick in the butt. I will have Executor next.
Play 3 fleets. I don't.
Yeah, I might have to check that. I will have Executor the next go around on that account, so that will change things a bit.
Next go arounds in 9 days.
Exactly.
Nice. So when somebody goes to when somebody checks out your channel, what do you want them to expect?
Okay, so I mean, let's be honest here. Calling me a content creator is pushing it a bit. So the main content I put out is on the EA forums. So I have my guide there, which is kind of a blog now. I update that, every week or every 2 weeks on the progress, kind of what I'm doing, what I'm farming. I do a lot of things when they have these double drop days, double drop weeks coming up, how I plan for that, and how you can make the most out of that, those resources. On the YouTube channel, I recently started putting out videos there. It's pretty recent. The main content I've started to put out is a series I called Intimidation's Tips and Tricks. And it's really different tools you can use outside of the game to improve your experience. So kind of, SWGOH.gg, how can you use this? What is it like? You know, on my main account, I use HotUtils, so that's kind of pay to play, but you know, that's a resource trying to show people what I do on that, how I use it, because it can be complicated.
Wonderful sponsor, but also wonderful tools.
It's an excellent tool. And then, you know, I just did, the latest one I did was like just kind of talking about preloaded turn meter, you know, particularly for territory wars and Grand Arena. You know, most guilds are you know, they hate talking about this topic and someone is always doing it. So I tried to, you know, capture some examples of what you do to prevent it, explain it, you know, what happens if the battle goes terribly wrong. So
what you are doing wrong.
Yeah. So we had a rough round this last one, but yeah, so the YouTube channel it's pretty young. I try to do content like that. You know, I post some, you know, captures of my Grand Arena battles or like one-off battles here and there. Like when people ask like, hey, how do I, you know, what can I do with this team? The big one was, you know, when the Omicrons came out for Qui-Gon Jinn, everyone was like, should I put it on here? What should, you know, should I use this team versus Padme? So just to kind of show what those teams can do and how powerful they can be for free to play and newer accounts.
Yeah. I mean, you do create content because you're a great resource and you answer a lot of questions for people in that Free to Play Nation Discord. I mean,
yeah,
you're always there to lend a hand, and that's awesome. That is really, really commendable.
Yeah, and that's one of the great parts about Free to Play Nation Discord. You know, we have, you know, the four of us content creators that are there. We all have kind of our specific ask channel. So people, if they want to ask something from Ollie or from Padawan or OBG or myself and get the response directly from them, they can go there, they can ask us. Obviously, we're on all the other channels as well, helping out, giving advice where we can. But if they want, you know, a specific opinion from one of us, which you see that most people tend to ask all of us the same question to see how our responses are the same or differ.
I have seen that also happen.
But yeah, it's a great resource out there.
It's like in my opinion, and then Neil, by all means, I know you've got a few more questions as well, but it's like biased research where you're going, which one of these is gonna prove me right?
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, I like Intimmydation better than Ollie because he says that I'm good with my toys. Neil, what you got?
What are you currently farming?
Oh, let's see. So on my free to play account, I'm currently going for Malik. So I have both Revens already. I think I have 2 characters left. I'm trying to get to gear 12, and then I'll be ready for that event. Have all the get 1 saved. So that's my big project on that account. And then the other stuff that I'm farming up is, you know, I waited a long time on the bounty hunter ships on that account. So I'm going back now farming all of them, to be honest, Houndstooth, Slave One, Xanadu, and IG. Just because with how important fleets are now, and seeing that, you know, just having the 2 get 2 fleets is not what I was, you know, expecting when I started. Obviously the Grand Arena change kind of threw a kink into all that.
Yeah.
It's important. So I'm trying to play catch up. I'm trying to play catch up now with those ones. I passed on Houndstooth early because I was going for Malevolence, and I rather farm like, you know, the Hyena Bomber 1 node versus 2 for Houndstooth. And it's worked out. I mean, I do fine in Fleet Arena, but now with Grand Arena, you got to have the 4 fleets.
So how does your farming differ from the your pay to win account over your free to play account?
It's not too different. You know, I still, on both accounts, I'm refreshing all of the energy 3 times a day, every day. On the free to play one, the Cantina, maybe only 1 time a day. But to be honest, like I get top in fleets every day. So I'm getting good crystals there. I'm getting good crystals in Grand Arena on the main account and decent ones on the free to play one. So, you know, I could probably farm 3 refreshes of every energy every day and still be okay. But I try to stay around 3,000 crystals in the bank just in case, you know, something comes up that I need to to buy. But in general, like the way I farm, it's the same. You know, the pay to play one, you know, I still do the same things I do on the free to play one. It's all about trying to be efficient with these farms and where you allocate your energy. You know, I don't like just go and spin crystals on gear just because I need that gear piece. Like if it's one of the few gear pieces that has a bit of crystal value, yes. But mainly it's just trying to allocate those crystals to the right farms in the right places. So
yeah,
the farming is the same.
I am a crystal refresh farmer. I rarely get a piece of gear unless it's like deadline, the final countdown. I have to have this right before GAC, or I have to have this before a character goes away. I've done that in the past, but
yeah,
you know, when it comes to gear, shop only.
Yep. No, and I think
I like to I mean, obviously, I'm all free. You know, I'm all about the free to play. I like to have a chunk of crystals specifically for the end game goal. So, like for example, I'm farming for C at the moment. So I'm just doing like relic levels on all of the characters. But what I'm trying to do is put together a nice hoard of crystals. So when I get C, if I don't have everything I need, like say going from 11 to 12, I'm missing one piece, crystals straight on it. As soon as he hits gear 12 and I see 4 crosses, it's like, fine, I do those 4 crosses and then I use the crystals to do the remaining 2. So I will spend, as free-to-play player, I will spend my crystals on gear, but it's only for those important characters. So I did it with JKL, I did it with Gas, I did it with JML, I did it with Mara. You know, so those end game characters, I think that from a free-to-play point of view, it makes sense to, because you've done your grinding to collect all of the characters needed in order to go for that character. And it sucks if you can't instantly take that character straight to gear 13 and a decent relic level. So I would argue from a free-to-play point of view, it does make sense to have a little nest egg so that you can dump that nest egg all into that all-important one character. Because once you've got it, it's like, right, okay, I can start again now.
I fully
exactly the same principle for Executor as well, mate. Because the event's coming up, so it's like, can I save up the 10k in crystals in order to activate it at 4 and get it as close to 7 as possible? So all I need to do, I mean, I tried to do it, but I came up 5 short when I did it. But it was during the month where we had the screw up, where the CG did a content update, and we ended up getting 13 rounds in that month. Something got cancelled. I didn't make the crystal income that I needed in order to do it.
Yeah.
And I had to wait another month to take it from 6 to 7.
They gave out,
which was a bit of a pain in the ass.
They gave out the apology on the 16th. The Executor was there on the 15th.
After, exactly. So
yeah.
Two comments on what you just said, Neil. So I fully agree on the, having that little nest egg of crystals. So I did the same on my main account for JMK. I got him to gear. I had most of the gear saved, but then I got to gear 12 plus. And I said, oh, I need these 2 pieces left. No brainer, spend it, start working on the relics. Executor, like I said, in 9 days, I'm going to the event. I have, coincidentally 10K saved up in crystals there to make sure that I get that at least a 4-star. And then then just a comment on the Grand Arena screw up. So I was doing really well on the main account there. I was in a Rhodium. I think I was in a Rhodium 1. Or Rhodium 2. I was about to go to a Rhodium 1. I didn't have a GL at this time. I was trying so hard to make Kyber without a GL, without Executor. And I was on a good run. Like I would have been 2-0 in that week that they canceled it. And then after they canceled it and restarted, then it went to crap, got stuck in Rhodium 2. Now I'm back in Kyber now, but it would have been a cool achievement to make Kyber with no GLs. But
here's the thing: what a lot of people didn't realize about that week, that was the week that never was, that week that got screwed up, is it was the perfect opportunity to practice speed GAC. And not a lot of people did, not a lot of people, but you were able to do everybody was still able to do round 2 and round 3. They just switched the clock so that it all of a sudden became speed GAC.
Yeah.
So you had like 30 minutes. I remember it's like, oh, can I do it? I just wanted to do it. I was able to get the clearance on both of them.
We did it
which was
during
nice,
the show.
All the extra gold, all the extra credits, in like the space of in the space of an hour. It was it was just a pain in the ass because they had to reset the week.
I saw the announcement. I think I was like sitting in bed about to fall asleep, and I saw it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can clear real fast. So I think I cleared that second round. And then I was like, okay, I didn't realize that you could have gone to the third one, but yeah, I did like a speed full clear.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. And I was like, okay, I got to go to sleep. It's 1 a.m. here. Tired.
And the fun part for Neil was it was during the show. So Neil and I are both sitting here, you know.
It was during the show, so I was desperate. I was like blasting through them.
Nice.
Like, because it was nice to be able to, because I've only done commentary on a speed GAC. I haven't participated.
Yeah.
So it was nice to actually do a speed GAC. And the kicker is, because they changed the clock on it, it tells, you know, they can change the clock on it, you know.
Yeah.
So if there was enough want for it, they could do a speed GAC. If they really, really wanted to, they could do a speed GAC.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Have like a 1 day, like sign up 1 day, you just do speed GAC, as many rounds or something as you can. Something like that would be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. And you get a token amount just for playing. It's, you know, it's not ultra competitive. Oh my God, crystals. You get like, you know, some championship currency for that. Timmy, we are sadly getting running out of time quickly here. So I want a chance for you to be able to pimp what you love. The Free to Play Nation Discord channel. Tell people how to find that the best you can, and tell people why.
So you can
to
find.
check you out.
So you'll find me over on the Free to Play Discord server, which I think you guys will link down below. You'll find me on other places around Discord. So I'm pretty heavily using Loquitur server. I'm part of his Dark Council over there as well.
Loquitur
so
is good
if you're a mid game player, I try to help out there where I can. And then I have my blog on the EA forums in the new player section. So you'll find me there, and that's kind of where it all started. It's where I started getting my first device because I had no clue what I was doing for the first month playing this game. And so, and then seeing, people in similar situations, I decided like, look, I got to help these guys out. I started answering a lot of questions, and then I said, let me just work on a guide, put it together how I think, we can be efficient here. It actually started with my old college roommate, talked him into the game. And I didn't want him to go through the same growing pains that I did. So built kind of a guide for him, and then said, look, let's start this alt account, free to play account. So anyway, find me over at the new player section there, YouTube, Intimmydation on YouTube. I post stuff time to time.
Spell it out for those who don't want to go looking at the name.
So it's INTIMMYDATION. So Intimmydation. Kind of like intimidation. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Timmy. And if you're a South Park fan, Timmy. All right.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. So, hit me up if you have questions. I'm always open to answer them the best that I can.
So Neil, any final words for our guest?
No, it's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. Let's let him get away, because it's stupid o'clock in the morning in France at the moment.
Exactly. Thank you for taking a moment out of your time. We really do appreciate it. Coming up in this break, a brand new episode, fully produced, of Dickie and the Noob. You guys do not want to miss this one. It was a lot of fun to help produce this one. So, and coming up after that, Patreon's Choice on the Bridge. We'll be right back.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Vicky, this really is not what I was expecting when I found out we were taking in a child.
I get you, noob. Rona isn't exactly what I was expecting either. She can be a little abrasive, yes, but I'm sure she'll grow on you.
Grow on me? Like a fungus?
She's a teenager. It's a rough time for anyone, and she's had it hard, left with only an assassin droid with no personality to take care of her. Besides, she could be the key to finding Hondo.
She's been on this ship for 3 days, and I've considered launching her out of an escape pod 3,688 times. Literally.
Like there's nothing to drink on this ship? This is totally lame. I always hated this rust bucket.
We filled the water reservoir when we left Stujon, and there's like a year's supply of Jawa juice and blue milk, so please, stop complaining.
I need a little something stronger, capiche?
Rona, you're 13. You shouldn't be touching that stuff.
Whatever. Don't project your human values on me, old man. Weak ways mature faster. I've been smoking death sticks since I was like 9.
You know that alien physiology is part of my programming, right? Weak ways mature at the same rate as regular meat bags.
Look, I'll make you a deal. If this lead you gave us pans out, I'll fill the freezer with thallus iron ice cream.
My dad let me do whatever I want. I hate you guys. But this lead is totally legit. M1K30 is my dad's top informant. If any knows where he is, it's him.
M1K30. Why does that name seem so familiar?
We're arriving at Coruscant. God, I can't wait to get off this ship.
Hey, I'm looking for M1K30. Do you know where I can find him?
That's me.
You're human? Why do you have a droid name?
I need to conceal my true identity. I could get in real trouble revealing all the top secret information I have. Just call me Mike.
You hid the name Mike as M1K3. Oh, boy.
Don't listen to my droid. We're bounty hunters. We're looking for Hondo Onaka. We've been hired to bring him to the holotables. Can you point us in the right direction?
Well, let me first say that the future of the galaxy is quite extensive, with exciting new game modes, new characters we all love, and exciting GAC changes that are universally loved.
Okay, but what does this have to do with Hondo?
It's funny you should ask that. Today, my super secret, super accurate sources have informed me that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy has been removed from her position and stripped of all her power over at Lucasfilm, and Hondo will be making all the decisions moving forward.
What are you talking about?
I've also been told that once in power, Hondo will retcon the sequels, essentially erasing them all from Star Wars media, and that before watching any further Star Wars content, you will be required to be mind-wiped by a Jedi and totally forget their existence.
So you're trying to tell me that Hondo is at some movie studio? What does this have to do with the holotables?
All existing Resistance characters on the holotable will be converted to Gungans, and all First Order characters will become forgotten enemies from the Clone Wars. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren will become Darth Jar Jar.
Can we speak to one normal person on this journey?
Normal? There's nothing normal about what's going on behind the scenes at Capital Games. My sources tell me that they've put a meathead in charge, while the community has been blessed with the addition of a crumlet to the community.
Well, that's the first thing you've said that makes sense.
Sense? You sense it too? There is a great disturbance in the Force. My sources are now telling me that after being removed from her position, Kathleen Kennedy has become a Force ghost and is now more powerful than you can possibly imagine. She has reinstated the sequel trilogy and is putting 3 Disney Plus shows into production. The first show will be an entire season of Finn trying to tell Rey that he's Force sensitive. He won't be doing anything, necessarily dangerous. She'll just keep interrupting him. Then there's the buddy comedy with BB-8 and D-O going on a coming-of-age journey to the wine country of Naboo. And finally, there's a comedy from Maz's Cantina where John Ratzenberg will play the role of Chris Cliven.
Do you think that if we walk away really slowly, Noob, he'll notice?
Notice? We'll be given 3 days' notice to farm all the Ewoks to Relic 7 for our new legendary, Sindel the Little Girl. This is the little girl that Drew Barrymore played at the Ewok movies. This event will be available for only 4 hours and will never return. Also, my sources say that Drew Barrymore will be reprising her role, but that's for another thing.
I'm afraid to say anything right now.
Anything? I'm now being told that Kathleen Kennedy is retconning me. I have been erased from history, but Dave Filoni has made me canon again in the Filoniverse. Did you see that? Did I just flicker out and back into existence? Whoa. Am I in the Matrix? Matrix? Keanu Reeves confirmed as Revan? Wait, no. Bob Chapek just had lunch with his daughter, who said Keanu Reeves would totally never go to the dark side and has scrapped the entire project.
This guy actually makes me miss Rona.
Rona? Oh no. Is she here? I'm out of here.
Oh, thank God.
See, Rona just saved us.
I guess, but please tell me we're not getting her any ice cream.
Oh God, no, but unfortunately we're no closer to finding Hondo.
Did somebody say Hondo?
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. It's question time.
It is question
Do we have
time.
some? We've got some questions.
We do. We definitely do.
Oh, good.
But once again, a thank you to Intimmydation. A thank you to everybody in Twitch chat. Seriously, this episode it's been great to do. The interaction was a lot of fun, and we hope to continue that next week. But thank you for sticking around for Patreon's Choice, the part where the Patreons get to ask whatever they want. And the first one I will do is from Salacious Dumb, who redeemed channel points to ask this. If you had to dress or cosplay as a Disney princess, who would it be and why? When you read it, you were like, I know. So, Neil, please enlighten me.
Princess Leia.
Technically a Disney princess now. That is very true.
She is technically a Disney princess now. So, and that's why, because it's a Star Wars Disney princess.
I would be Vanellope von Sweets from Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
The glitch. All right. So here we go. Zaz has 6 questions, but I want to intersperse the 2 that were posed to me to add. Halfway through Zaz's here. First one. What kind of do-it-yourself are you good at, if any? I mean, you're making the garden out there.
Yeah, I'm on version 2 of the greenhouse because the roof collapsed on version 1. So I had to rip the roof off because it collapsed. And then rather precariously climb onto the roof of the garage with several pieces of timber to go from the roof of the garage across. So yeah, I've posted photographs in various different locations on
Discord and our servers.
It caused me to miss joining territory wars on 1 because I literally I was out there for 6 hours trying to fix and then recover the roof on the greenhouse. So that was so that's DIY in the sense that it cost me nothing because I used the frame of an old gazebo and just pieces of wood that are lying around the backyard in order to make the greenhouse. The only thing that the only thing I paid for was the plastic, because you need to have a decent thick plastic. You can't just use cheap plastic. You got to use a decent proper plastic. So
yeah,
that would be my DIY. I'm good at upcycling stuff. Put it that way.
For me, it's when I have the tools, making things that involve frames, wood, like tables. I mean, studio that I'm in. I mean, the Millennial Fulcrum. You know, all of this was done by my hand. No contractors, no outside. Didn't pay anybody to do that. The studio, Vault 37 Studios, was made by my own hand. Along with the gaming table that sits out in the little gaming nook. And that's a 4x6. It comes up to here, so you can play miniatures without, yeah. So that's what I'm good at. You create a new cocktail. What do you name it? Keep it clean. I don't drink, so it's a Paul Anthony. I don't care.
Yeah, I've actually done that. I have done that. You know, when I was in the army. When I was in the army. Back in what year was it? It was I think it
when
was
dinosaurs
98.
were roaming the earth.
I think it was 98. No, it was definitely 1998. One of the things that we used to do, me and the guys in Cyprus, was over the Easter weekend. We affectionately referred to it as Millionaires Weekend. And it became a yearly tradition where you would have to blow your entire wages in that weekend. So there's like a dozen of us. We're in a hotel. There's a bar by the pool, and we effectively took over the bar by the pool, and we were just randomly mixing stuff together to make instant cocktails. And we made a really, really nice cocktail that we called Milk of Mech. And it was a Tia Maria, Bailey's, and I wish I could remember what the third one was. Then it was crushed ice, milk with vanilla ice cream, and oh my God, was it nice. It was so good. Very, very tasty.
All right. What is the last book you read? I can grab that right here. Cron, Ascendancy, Lesser Evil. That was the last book I read.
Let's see.
If you don't count comic books. Holy cow, what are you doing to the Millennial Fulcrum?
Allegiance.
There we go.
I keep meaning to read the sequel to this. I've got it. I've got the sequel. I just still haven't read it yet.
Dickie Darkside says Johnny Skywalker for the cocktail. Oh, that's good. All right. Here's two questions that made me really think. And I actually am very, very interested in what your answers would be, Nev. And I'll give mine first. If you were to step out of the limelight, what is the one thing you hope you have done for the community and in your life? I hope I've entertained. I hope that I've brought a smile to faces that needed a smile. I hope that, I've given a piece of advice that has inspired somebody. And that also, honestly, is pretty much my life. I actually enjoy. If I read something once, I'll put it this way. I read something once that said, I just want to be able to hear from someone, because of you, I didn't give up. I've been lucky enough to hear that, and it feels damn good, and I hope I can do it more. So that's my answer to that. What about you, Neil?
Just that I hope I was entertaining.
All right. The second question is, if you could convey one thing to someone about yourself and they would understand it, what would it be? For me, I hope that I could convey and could convey that what you see when it comes to what I say and what I do is from the heart. I don't do anything to fit a mold. I am not a mold person. So if anybody gets anything from any interaction with me, I hope that I am genuine. That's what I hope to convey. Neil?
Read the question again.
If you could convey one thing to someone about yourself and they would understand it, what would it be?
Doing some doing something that you haven't done before. Just go out and do it, so that you get a better understanding of it.
There you go. All right, let's get off the philosophical and get back to Zaz's questions. Thoughts on the new Batman film, good or bad? Too long, but still good. I don't know if you've seen it.
Didn't like it. Didn't enjoy it.
Okay, you did go see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have watched. I did watch it. I didn't like it. For very specific reasons. I'm a Frank Miller fan, so I was very much anticipating this movie because Batman Year One and Batman Year Two are two of my favorite graphic novels. And obviously they were using Batman Year 2 as the source material for this Batman movie. And I don't believe that, I don't know if it's the actor's fault or if it's the director's fault, but I don't believe that it was conveyed as well as it could be.
All right.
Just, how long's it been out?
I think I saw it in theater opening weekend 3 months ago.
All right. I mean, I suppose the one I suppose I could it's not really a spoiler. The reason why I didn't like it as much as I hoped I would like it is because it's not like it's completely different from any other Batman movie that you will watch.
I think that's why I liked it, though.
No, because the reason one of the core element of Batman is that Batman and Bruce Wayne are two completely different people, right? Every Batman that's ever been done by any actor, right? There's two. There's two very distinct characters. Batman and Bruce Wayne are two distinct characters, and I just didn't get any distinction between Bruce Wayne and Batman in this movie. And I like to see and feel the distinction between the two separate characters.
I think he was struggling that he's got that he has to do, or he feels obligated to do what he's doing now, and he has shunned for the time being that playboy mentality. That was my impression, but I could see where you're going with that. All right. If you could create a VR Star Wars game, what type of game would it be?
A VR?
VR game, yeah. Honestly, I kind of like Vader Immortal. They also have Tales from Galaxy's Edge, I think it is. And that was kind of cool, you know, with a blaster, I guess. And they've already done Squadrons where you can be in VR for that. Maybe a VR Lego game. VR Lego Star Wars. Sure, why not?
Yeah, there's bit there. I mean, they've already done VR for everything that you. I mean, I suppose an MMORPG, a Star Wars MMORPG that's VR. You know, maybe we don't know, but obviously we know that KOTOR's being reimagined. Maybe, you know, they incorporate into that reimagining the ability to play the game in full VR. That could be kind of cool.
All right. And last question from Zaz. What's the best song for sitting with a loved one watching the sunset?
I don't know. I've never done that before.
I mean,
I have no frame of reference.
I go country on this one. You know, my musical tastes are all over the board. I do like some country. I do like the Zac Brown Band, and I'm going to have to say Toes. I got my toes in the water, ass in the sand.
Yeah, I could go for something ironic and say, like Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, why not? Why don't you just say Metallica Enter Sandman?
No, because I don't like Metallica.
All right. Dickie Darkside asks, if you could greenlight a Star Wars movie based on any EU story, which would it be?
Oh God, it would be the book series that incorporated the Yuzong Vong.
So the
Without a
Heir
doubt.
to the Empire.
Huh?
That's Heir to the Empire?
No, that's the Thrawn trilogy.
Okay. I thought Thrawn was
about-
involved in the Yuzong Vong.
Hang on. Yeah, the Yuzong Vong. That would be the New Jedi Order, the New Jedi Order book franchise.
Gotcha. So you're going a series. I'm going a series as well. Once again, Thrawn Ascendancy. This book was amazing. The entire story of the Chiss told in the Ascendancy series is amazing. And by the way, if you want to check it out, you can get a free audiobook and help out Going Nerdy.
That's not that. You haven't answered the question. The question was extended universe. That's not extended universe. That's canon.
It's still extended universe.
No, it's not.
It's not
That's
Legends
canon,
extended universe. It's still
extended universe is different from canon books. That's a canon book that you're holding up.
You're equating extended universe with Legends.
Yes, and the book that you're reading is part of canon. Disney's new canon.
Fine. Give me an animated Tag and Bink.
Yes. Oh yeah, that would be so awesome.
And for
do you know I have tried so hard to start that rumor. I tweeted Viduza, you know, the guy that did Scrubs. I tweeted to him that I've heard a rumor that you're doing an animated version of Tag and Bink with Donald Faison and Zach Braff as Tag and Bink doing the voices for those two characters, because I think that would be freaking hilarious. I do. I genuinely think that if you were going to do an animated Tag and Bink, it would have to be Donald Faison and Zach Braff, because they are the funniest. They're just, oh God, yeah, no, that would be awesome.
And finally, Force Strong asks me personally, speaking of minis, how do you like your droids? I absolutely love the droids that Force Strong painted. I sent him some of the droids. One of them was a PK series droid, and he painted it exactly like Noob. I have a miniature Noob for Star Wars Legion, and I love every single piece of it. So, once again, I have no problem in giving you a public thank you for painting those Force Strong. And I hope you enjoy the Escape Podcast pop socket I sent along with it. All right. Neil, what you got coming up? GA Center tomorrow, right?
Yeah, gonna try and knock out GA Center tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be up early enough to do the Jedi Academy with Ranger, and then back to more hydroponic gardening stuff. I've got to make a vertical hydroponic tower tomorrow. I'm really, really hoping that the weather's good enough for me to do that. So yeah, that'll be my weekend.
Dickie Darkside says, "Here's a theory: Tag and Bink are the two troopers that punched Grogu."
You wouldn't be able to do it. They're too old. They wouldn't be able to move fast enough. If you put Tag and Bink in the Mandalorian universe, they'd be two old men. They would literally be they'd be two old men by now. Yeah. But I like where you're going with that.
Okay, and also, since GAC will be back next week, I'm sure you'll be.
Oh yeah, I'll be doing 3v3 next week. Yeah, definitely.
I don't remember if. Let me look when it actually happened. I think it was last week. It was. So the last time we talked, we were finishing up Skywalker Saga. We did that.
Mm-hmm.
Christy and I finished Skywalker Saga. 25 different Lego games. All the Lego games from the complete saga through Skywalker Saga. And it took us 28 days, 18 hours, 22 minutes, and 34 seconds. The Lego marathon is done. We're now on to other couch co-op games, including a game right now that we're playing that's about divorce. Our marriage strengthening idea is playing a game about divorce, and we are making fun of it the entire way. There is a book that we just really, really hate, and it is the antagonist of the story. So check out Vault 37 Studios on Twitch. No hyphens, no spaces, just Vault 37 Studios. We'd love for you guys to stop by. We're going to be playing more couch co-op games, including Portal 2, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Lots of that stuff as well. But that's what I'll be up to. So stop by, watch Neil and I do our things on the respective channels outside of the podcast. All right. So Neil, any parting words before we wrap it up?
Yeah, try and stay out of the rain. It'll get you wet.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you guys next week. Thank you for a wonderful show. And be nice to each other, damn it. Neil?
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.